Hi, my dear fellow. Good morning and warm welcome to all. It's my great pleasure and honor to be here. Cynthia IS. Cynthia IS is a award-winning institute in India under the guidance of Mr. S.P. Sitarehind, founder and directors. Today, I am going to take lecture bioethics. Bioethics, it is the most important topic for the UPSC students because it is the new topic. How can you handle it is totally depend on the individual aspirant of the UPSC. Then don't worry, let's begin. What is bioethics? What is bioethics? Bioethics is derived from Greek words bios bios and ethos. Bios means life. Ethos means moral, nature, behavior. Moral, nature and behavior. Next, now the topic is the term bioethics. The term bioethics. The term bioethics, Greek 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 bios means life and ethos means ethos means moral, nature, behavior. Nature, behavior. It was coined by it was coined by it was coined by Frisor. F It was coined by Frisor. Next point. Bioethics deals with the issue of bioethics deals with the issue of bioethics deals with the issue of biology and medicine. Biology and medicine. Understood? Bioethics is defined as the is defined as the bioethics is defined as the philosophical study of philosophical study of philosophical study of ethical question ethical ethical questions ethical questions arising out of development arising out of development in biology and medicine. In biology and medicine. It studies ethical questions. Next, it studied ethical questions it studied ethical questions arising out ethical questions arising out of relationship among point 1 life science, life science, point 2 medicine, point 3 law, fourth politics, politics, and fifth religion. Next point. Bioethics had bioethics had a different views. Bioethics bioethicist hold different views Bioethics to hold different views on subject bioethics, on subject bioethics covers a wide range of a wide range of covered a wide range of areas such as point 1 areas such as abortion, point 2 point 1 abortion, point 2 euthanasia, point 3 surrogacy, point 4 genetics, point 5 engineering, engineerings, 6 suicide, 7th cloning, suicide and cloning, and healthcare issues, health care issues. Next point, healthcare issues. Four main ethical principles of bioethics. Four main ethical principle of bioethics. Four main ethical principle of bioethics. It is the most important to understand it. Point 1 beneficence. Point 1 beneficence. Point 2 point 1 beneficence. Point 2 non maleficence. Non maleficence. Autonomy. Fourth justice. Next, abortion, new topics. Abortions. Abortion is the termination of pregnancy. Abortion is the abortion is the termination of abortion is the termination of pregnancy. Abortion is the termination of pregnancy before the infant before the infant before the infant can survive can survive outside the uterus. Survive the uterus while medical termination of pregnancy while medical medical termination of pregnancy is allowed before is allowed before a certain period into a certain period into pregnancy. This has become a serious issue in India. This has become a serious issue in India. This has become a serious issue in India because of spurt end because of spurt in female Futicide. Expert in female futicide. Next, the meaning of becomes so wide. The meaning became so widespread, so wide spread. The meaning becomes so widespread that that the that the sex sex determination of test sex determination test of test of fetus fetus had to be declared had to be declared had to be declared illegal. Next, the ethical questions arise out. The ethical questions arising arising out of the ethical question arising this out of this as follows. Point 1, as follows. Point 1, does one have the right to take does one does one have the right does, does one have the right to take the life to take does one have the right to take a life of child? Point 2, point 2, can abortion be ethical? Can abortion be ethical? Can abortion be ethical? What mitigating what what mitigating What mitigating circumstances can make can make circumstances can make this practice legal? Legal. Next, how does one deal with this mimic? How does one deal? How does one deal with this mimic? With this mimic. This mimic is Allah sufficient deterrent? Is the law? Is the law a sufficient deterrent? Sufficient deterrent. Next point, which is more desirable legal protection? Which is more desirable? Which is more desirable legal protection for the child? Legal protection for the child. Protection for the child or a mass movement to educate the parent? Mass movement or mass movement to educate the parent, to educate the parents. Next, Indian abortion law. Indian abortion law. Indian abortion law. The Indian abortion law, medical termination of pregnancy, the Indian abortion law the Indian abortion law, medical termination of pregnancy, medical termination of pregnancy, MTP Act 1971, Act 1971, was enacted to ensure some regulation with respect to with respect to abortion. As female feticide is common in India, as female female feticide is common female feticide is common in India. In is common in India. It was necessary to control both abortion and determination. Abortion and determination. Abortion and determination of the sex child through sonography. Through sonography. Next point. This is the most important topics. The legal limit set was the legal limit set was the legal limit set was 20 weeks of pregnancy. The legal limit set was 20 weeks 20 20 weeks 20 weeks of pregnancy. Next, later the Supreme Court allowed Later the Supreme Court allowed a rape victim to abort 24 weeks 24 weeks old abnormal fetus. Abnormal. Next point. On the ground. On the ground. That the pregnancy would that the pregnancy would endanger the physical endanger the physical and mental health of the women. Mental health of the women. Mental health of the women. Women. There was a criticism that the MTP Act there was the criticism there was the criticism there was the criticism that the MT Act that the MTP Act MTP Act 1971 was not in tune with times and modern times and times and modern trend in medical science trends in medical science trend in medical science. Next point. According to a new act, MTP may be allowed according to new act MTP may be allowed after 20 weeks, even after 20 weeks, even after 20 weeks of pregnancy. A new 24 weeks limit a new 24 weeks limit has been kept. Limit has been kept. Kept. Next point. The condition include some key point. Some key points. Point 1, if the continuation of pregnancy if the continuation of pregnancy is dangerous to the mother's child. Point 2, if the pregnancy is caused by if the pregnancy is caused by if the pregnancy is caused by rape which is very traumatic which is very traumatic for the pregnant women for the pregnant women for the next point, euthanasia. What is euthanasia? Euthanasia is also important to understand it because it is not an easy task to handle it. Okay. Euthanasia is the practice of intentionally is the practice of it is the practice of of intentionally it is the practice of intentionally ending life ending life to eliminate pain and suffering, to eliminate pain and suffering. To eliminate pain and suffering. Termination of life by a doctor, you can also say, or termination of life by a doctor termination of life by a doctor termination of life by a doctor at the request of the patient of the patient. Request of the patient. Request of the patient. Euthanasia is the legal euthanasia is the legal euthanasia is the legal is a legal for terminally ill patient for terminally ill patient Next, the ethical aspect involved the ethical aspect involved the ethical aspect involved are the same are the same as that of abortion Can the quality of life be a sufficient can we can the quality of life can the quality of life be a sufficient be a sufficient sufficient reason sufficient reason to allowed person to allowed person his or her relatives his or her relatives his or her relatives and and his or her life to end his or her life. Can suffering from pain can suffering from pain can suffering from pain eternally be a reason eternally be a reason for allowing mercy killing for allowing mercy killing allowing mercy killing what a mitigating what a what a mitigating circumstances what a mitigating circumstances what a mitigating circumstances should be there to allow there to allow a person to end his life a person to end his life his or her life. Next point, to what extent should the quality of life to what extent should the quality of life should the quality of life should the quality of life deteriorate for one deteriorate. To what extent should the quality of life deteriorate for one to decide for one to decide for one to decide the life is not worth living, the life is not the life is not worth living. Worth living. Next point, the Indian law. The Indian law. Euthanasia was illegal in India till euthanasia was illegal in India euthanasia was illegal in India till 2011. The knowledge Supreme Court 11 the Honorable Supreme Court legalized the Honorable Supreme Court legalized passive euthanasia. The Supreme Court made two conditions. The Supreme Court made two conditions. The Supreme Court made two conditions in allowing passive euthanasia. Point one. Patient in a brain dead patient in a brain dead condition in a Patient in a brain dead condition for whom the ventilator can be for whom the ventilator can be switched off switched off. Point 1 2 Point 2 Point 2 patient in a permanent vegetative state patient in a permanent vegetative state for whom the feet can be tapered whom the feet can be tapered out foot can be tapered out and pain managing and pain managing palliatives palliatives can be added according to international practice according to international practice. Next point. The Supreme Court ruling will guide ruling the Supreme Court ruling will guide euthanasia practice in the country euthanasia practice in the country euthanasia practice in the country till the time till the time any law is passed by the legislature. Any law is passed by the legislature. Any law is passed by the legislature. Next point. Surrogacy. What is surrogacy? Surrogacy is also important part to understand bioethics. So please just make up his mind to understand it. That's important factor for you. Surrogacy is an argument surrogacy is an argument surrogacy is an argument often supported often often supported often supported by a legal argument by a legal by a legal argument whereby a beeman agrees a beeman agrees whereby a beeman agrees to deliver a labor behalf of labor to deliver a labor in behalf of another on behalf of other behalf of other behalf of behalf of another behalf of another couple or person another couple or person. Couple or person who will become the child who will become who will become the child parents who will become the child parents who will become the child parents after birth after birth. Next point. People may seek a surrogacy arrangement. People may seek a surrogacy arrangement when a couple don't miss when a couple don't miss to carry a pregnancy to carry a pregnancy themselves. Next point. When a single man or a male couple when a single man or male couple wish to have a child wish to have a child. Next. It is reported that in India due to poverty many women take to surrogate many women take to surrogate motherhood for money. Next point. This has a serious effect on the health. This has a serious effect on the health of the women there are no laws governing this control this control between the biological parents between the biological parents and surrogate mother and surrogate 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 mother. Next, the government of India is reported the government of India the government of India is reported to be is reported to be considered is reported to be considered making law in this regard, making laws in this regard. In this regard, the ethical issue with regard to surrogacy the ethical issues the ethical issues with regard to the ethical issues with regard to surrogacy are as follows. As point 1, point 1, there are genuine cases there are genuine cases where the biological parents where the biological parents where the biological parents are not able to conceive are not able to conceive and bear a child and bear a child. However, as many other cases, point 1, there is the exploitation of poverty there is there is the exploitation of poverty there is the exploitation of poverty among people among people in poor countries in poor in poor countries whom to take surrogate who to take surrogate. Who to take surrogate? Motherhood. Motherhood for very meager fees. For very meager fees. For very meager fees. Next point. There is also the question of middlemen. There is also the question of there is also the questions of middlemen. Middlemen who even a lot of money, who even a lot of money, who even a lot of money in the process. In the process. Next point. The relation between the surrogate mother and the child who will be brought up who will be brought up by the biological parent biological by the biological parents need to be considered needs need to be considered both on legal aspect both on legal aspect both on legal aspect social and emotional social and emotional social and emotional consideration social and emotional consideration. Next point. Surrogate mother as a control surrogate motherhood surrogate motherhood as a contract between as a contract between contract between contact between the biological parents biological parents and surrogate. Biological parent and surrogate mother needs legal protection legal protection need legal protection for both the party for both the parties for both the parties. It should not lead a claims and counterclaim. It should not it should not lead to claim it should not lead to claims and counterclaims and counterclaims at a later stage. At a later stage, the child feeling towards the parents the child feelings the child feelings towards the parents towards the child feeling towards the parents to the surrogate mother surrogate mother surrogate mother could be tricky could be tricky issue in same cases issue in same cases. Point 1 Indian surrogacy law. Indian surrogacy law. Indian surrogacy law. There are some important law prescribed in Indian surrogacy. Point 1 Point 1 A draft surrogacy bill a draft surrogacy bill a draft surrogacy bill 2016 was passed by was passed by the Union Cabinet was passed by the Union Cabinet and is open for public debate and is open for public debate and is open for public debate. The main feature of the bill the main features of the bill are point 1. The main feature of the bill are commercial surrogacy is completely banned. Commercial surrogacy is completely banned. Is completely banned. Point 2. Point 2. Only couple who have been married. Only couple. Only couple. Only couple who have been only couples who have been married who have been married for 5 years for 5 years and have proven fertility and have proven fertility and have been proven fertility can opt for can opt for can opt for can opt for a surrogate mother. Surrogate mother. Next point. The bill bans foreigner from opting the bill ban the bill ban the bill bans foreigners the bill ban foreigners from opting from opting from opting for Indian surrogate mother for Indian surrogate mother. Next, the bill prevent the couple from paying any money the bill ban The will ban the bill prevent the bill prevents the couple from the bill prevent the couple from paying any money paying any money paying any money to the surrogate mother to the surrogate to the surrogate mother to the surrogate mother except for medical expenses except for medical expenses expenses the surrogate mother also has to be close the surrogate mother the surrogate mother also has to be a close relative close a close relatives of the couple a close relatives of the couple seeking surrogate mother seeking seeking surrogate mother seeking surrogate mother couple having child can't seek surrogate mother couple couple having child couple having child can't seek can't seek surrogate mother surrogate mother couple having child can't seek surrogate mother point next एसी बंद कर दो एसी एसी नेक्स्ट पॉइंट एसी बंद कर दो एसी नेक्स्ट पॉइंट क्लोनिंग नेक्स्ट एम्ब्रियो क्लोनिंग cloning embryo cloning reproductive cloning reproductive cloning, therapeutic cloning, therapeutic cloning. Next point, gestational surrogacy. Gestational gestational surrogacy. Gestational surrogacy was first achieved gestational surrogacy gestational surrogacy 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 was first achieved was first achieved was first achieved in April 1986. In April 1986. 1986. It takes place where an embryo created it takes place where an embryo created by in vitro fertilization technique vitro fertilization technique IVF is implanted in a surrogate some key point some key point some key point point 1 some key point the embryo is created using the embryo is created using the intended father father, father's sperm, intended father's sperm and the intended mother eggs and intended mother eggs. Mother eggs. Next point 2. The embryo is created using the intended the embryo is created using the intended intended father's sperm and donor eggs. Father sperms and donor eggs and donor egg. Donor egg. The embryo is created using the intended mother's. Next point, genetics. Genetics. Point 1, genetics. Point 2, altering human. Altering human. Okay, thanks all of you. Thank you so much. Next class I will take lecture research ethics. That's all. Thank you.